Thanks for joining us on the EverSmart City channel. I'm Sophia Olivas, CEO of EverSmart City. EverSmart City uses shipping containers to provide affordable housing, powered by renewable energy, has sustainable agriculture, and is integrated with blockchain technology.
And my name is Mark Anthony, co-founder of EverSmart City. And if this is your first time seeing one of our videos, be sure to like this video, subscribe, check out all of our last videos, and turn on the notifications to see all of our future videos. Here we talk about EverSmart City and how we plan to build and what we got going forward in the future. We have videos on some of the SDG goals that we align with, our vision, our mission. Today, we're going to be talking about modular buildings, modular construction, and how we're using that to build homes like Legos, but in real life for adults. But first, Sophia's going to drop some statistics for you on how modular construction shines compared to
Yeah.
site-built construction.
Yeah, so let's talk about it. I'm going to give you some statistics on modular building, and then you might not know what that definition is. So, right after this, Mark is going to tell you what modular is, what that means. So, modular buildings, it's Legos for grown-ups. So, when you build with modulars, there's at least a 10% cost savings. There's over 60% in scheduling speed up. So, you can build way faster through modulars. In fact, one of the really great visible examples of modular building and how fast it can be built is in the city of Wuhan. When COVID broke out, they built 6 hospitals. No, actually, they built like I think 4 hospitals in 6 days using modulars. So they were able to just quickly bring that up to speed. And modular building is most of the permanent modular buildings can last 35, 50 years, and even centuries, given the care and the building type, which is why EverSmart City has chosen to build with shipping containers. They last minimum 100 years. They're weatherproof. They can go through category 6 hurricane, tornado. They can go through earthquakes, and they've been proven to stop fires. In the case of some of the wildfires that happened in California over the last few years, one of the schools had shipping containers on the outside that they were using for extra classrooms, and that's actually what helped stop the fire because it couldn't burn through past those. So now Mark's going to talk to you and explain to you what modular buildings are.
Yeah, absolutely. So to kind of further paint the picture and give you an idea as how all those things are done, what modular homes are, they are factory built buildings. So there's essentially like 2 or 3 classes of factory built buildings. Since 1976, when the new HUD laws were implemented, all factory built buildings were now considered manufactured homes. A lot of people may have heard of mobile homes. That's what they were called pre 1976. Now, post 1976, they're called manufactured homes. And so there's essentially really 2 types of manufactured homes or factory built buildings. Both modular, they're considered both modular or manufactured. And what the difference is a modular home is or let me start with a manufactured home is a home that's built with a frame and tires built on connected to it, like an RV. Um, it has a pre-built steel frame connected to the home to the bottom of it, where axles and tires can get mounted onto it. Whereas a modular home is just the box, just the structure of the home, with no frame for transportation and no tires. To transport it, you would have to put it on a some type of specialized trailer to transport it, where a manufactured home comes with wheels ready to transport and ready to go, and they stay on there. So with modular, um, both of these buildings are built in a factory in controlled climates, and that is why they can be so fast. So here we got kind of a picture of a factory, a modular home factory, and you can see kind of this production line going straight back, where they have these different stages of production or building, where they start with the walls and the windows and the paint and the floors and all the amenities, and they go step by step, which makes it a lot faster to be able to build in this manner because you're in a controlled climate, compared to site built construction where every day at 7 o'clock, you hope all of your workers show up on time to the construction site, and that they bring all the tools. That's if you bring tools, or if you leave the tools there on the job site and hope they don't get stolen overnight. And then bringing the tools, unloading the tools, and then bringing them to each specific location where the job's going to be done can take a large amount of time. And then packing up at the end of the day, packing up all those tools and then driving off, and then even taking lunch breaks, packing up those tools, putting them in the truck so nobody takes them. Whereas when you're in a factory and in a controlled climate, all the tools, all the equipment stays right there. It's the buildings and the structures that move to the building site. Whereas site built, all the tools and the equipment move to the building site. When it comes to factory built buildings, the buildings move to the building site. So it saves a lot more time, and it become more streamlined and easier to find kind of your pinpoint or your funnels or your points of weakness that you can really kind of narrow down and speed up and fine tune through different stages. And that being all the tools are there, it can be a lot faster to streamline and systemize, knowing that this one person at this station, right? You kind of work in stations. This person at this station does the same thing every day and become completely efficient in terms of building a lot less scrap being used, a lot less waste management from all that scrap, and then having dumpsters all around the job sites and then dumpster trucks coming to pick them up. It can be very encumbersome to do site built compared to when they're factory built, pre-manufactured homes. Um, with modular homes, a lot of times they're built up to 80% in the factory, and then they're delivered, assembled, and then finished the final 20%, which may be just conjoining the walls on the inside and painting them so they look smooth and flat. Same with the outside, painting or conjoining the walls on the outside and making them smooth surfaces so you can't tell where any of the seams are where these homes connect. So using this model of modulars, we decided to build modulars, but then take it up another level, knowing that these homes are going to be transported, assembled, and then even potentially all around the world. And then another thing when it comes to time, now we have to build all these frames. So this is where we started to look into, this was when we partnered with Arizona State University's sustainability department. They have a program in there called Greenlight Solutions that works with the sustainability department. And we worked with interns for 3 different semesters. And one of the group of interns helped us find alternative building materials to build modular homes with. We looked at bamboo, we looked at hemp, we looked at 3D building, 3D printing. We looked for all different cross-laminated timber. We were looking at all different types of alternative ways to build modular homes, and we found that shipping containers happen to be one of the most resourceful in a few different manners. One being that there's a couple million of them all around the earth sitting in shipping yards that have only been used one time, and they're just sitting there taking up space, and they're not getting any use out of them. So there's an overabundance of containers that aren't being used that we can now use as a frame or a shell to now build these homes. So using the containers as a frame can help save us um, production time in the production line. Now we don't have to build a frame. The frame's already built. Now all we have to do is remove windows and doors from the frame. It's a lot more streamlined in terms of time and materials, because now we don't have to buy and source materials to build a frame. The frame's already there. We just have to cut out windows and doors. So it's a huge time saving. On top of that, it being a steel frame, the steel frame is obviously going to be a whole lot stronger and sturdier and more resilient through time than a wood frame would if we just built a standard wood frame like regular stick built homes. The steel container can last at least 100 years if properly maintenance, compared to, let's say, traditional mobile homes that we've seen in the night that have been built in the 1970s, 80s, 90s, from companies like Cavco, Clayton, Fleetwood, Palm Harbor, all these top manufactured home builders, where these homes tend to last 40 to 60 years before they start, experiencing some serious structural wear and tear, just from weather. Whereas containers will last not only at least 100 years, they're also wind, air, and watertight. So when we're coming in terms of building in communities that could face natural disasters, whether hurricanes, wildfires, or even tornadoes, and trees falling on these homes, they're going to be able to stand the test of times a whole lot better and more durably than a lot of the other building styles that we've seen in the past throughout humanity. So, also using the shipping containers, knowing that they're going to be modular and they're going to be stronger, this is going to make them much easier to transport. And why that's important is because, like I said, these homes are going to be built in a factory and they're going to have to be delivered and assembled. And knowing that our first project is here is in Phoenix, but future projects to be global, it's going to be important that we can transport these homes at a large scale. Now, if these homes were built out of wood frames, I don't know if we'd be able to stack these many modular units on top of each other and transport them to our next destination in a timely manner. A barge like this, a freight like this, can transport anywhere from 15 to 20,000 shipping containers. Now, imagine if these were all pieces to houses, and we're now able to pull up and build and assemble a community as soon as we start, unloading them from the boat, or even from the train. Because I got another picture here of a train. We
Going
take
through
them off.
that. Yeah, as he's going through that, we just want to let you guys know that reason why we talk about Legos is that EverSmart City, you can build as your family needs build. So as he's showing you this, they're meant to be stacked. So when you start at EverSmart City, if you start we go from studios all the way up to 4 bedrooms. So let's say you start at a studio, and as your family or needs grow, your home can grow too. And that's what we mean about building with Legos. So we thank you so much for joining us on the EverSmart City channel, um, where technology enhances the human experience. And we look forward to continuing the conversation with you in Discord.
Be sure to join our Discord. The link's right below. Jump in on the conversation with us. Get involved. Introduce yourselves. We look forward to collaborating with all of you guys. And we'll talk to you guys inside of Discord.